Hey everyone, this is Dark Knight from Method Gaming. Welcome to another Shop Titans video. In this video, we're going to focus on leveling and some of the strategies that you could use to do that. We're also going to talk about energy and how to best make use of it. This is also included in the leveling process, so I think the two are interconnected, so we need to talk about them in the same video. Okay, so in my overview video of Shop Titans, I mentioned that you basically gain levels by selling items, which in general is true, of course, but there is a bit more detail to it than just that. Now, if you take a look at the XP required to get to the next level, you'll see that I need about roughly 8 million to get to the next level, which means I need to be able to sell about 8 million worth of goods to my customers in the shop. But it's also important to note that what you actually get as experience is your base price without having it discounted, without having it surcharged. This is what you get. If I sell this item and discount it, I would sell it for half of that sum, but I would still get this amount of XP. And vice versa. If I surcharge it and I get double the amount, the XP is still going to be 5,150. So that's something to keep in mind, mostly because what you'll be doing in most of the game is you'll be trying to find a balance between gaining levels and getting gold. I'll give you an example with my own account. Right now I'm level 49, 8 million away from level 50. At level 50, I'll actually be able to expand my shop, but this one requires 50 million gold as well, not just the level. And that means that there's not much point in me getting to level 50 if I don't have the gold required to expand my shop or to start expanding my shop right away. Now I could go one of two ways. I could just hit 50 and just wait till I gain more gold, but I kind of want to be able to start the expansion as soon as I hit 50. And that means I have to gain more gold than I would actually gain XP. And how would that work? Well, the short answer is the market. When you're selling or buying items from the market, you're actually not getting XP from that. But the market is a good place to make some extra money. Let me just give you an example. If you go to the requests, you'll basically be able to see what other people are asking for. And that means that you'll also be able to sell some of your items to other people for gold, of course. And like I said, you're not getting any XP for it. However, most items will be listed for more than they normally sell for to customers. Let's take a look at the scrolls here, for example. Now, this base value here is what you would normally sell the scroll to a customer for. Somebody's offering more than that, so 5.5k, but it's kind of your decision whether you want to sell this to a customer instead and gain this amount of XP as well as the gold, or get slightly more gold but not the XP. Now, in this particular case, this is, in my opinion, not a good deal because you're not getting that much more gold by just selling the item to somebody else. You're actually not really making full use of your item that way, at least in my opinion. I think it would make more sense to actually sell this to a customer and not somebody who has put up a request for it. Same goes here. You're only making about 850 gold from making this sell, but you're losing out on 4,150 XP. So again, I don't really think it's worth it. But let's take a look at this one. Kind of the same thing. You're looking at about 3,270 profit, but still, again, might not be worth it. Let's take a look at see if we can find something that would make more sense. Okay, take a look at this one. Here you're getting about 50% more than you would normally get from a customer. So 40 as opposed to 60,000 gold. This could actually be something that is worth considering. Let's take a look at this one. Here's a good example of an item which actually would make you more gold even if you manage to surcharge it with a customer. So if you get double the price from a customer, you get 26,000, but somebody's offering 32,000 for an amber staff. So if you're after gold and not worried so much about XP, this is where you want to sell it, because you'll be making a lot more gold than actually selling this stuff to a customer, even if you manage to surcharge it. Let's see, this is another good example. Again, even if you get double the price from a customer, you'll still get more gold by selling these items. So what you could do if you're really after cash, what you could do is you could even see what's selling for good money, like for example this particular staff, and just craft a bunch of it and sell it. Of course, keep in mind that these items change. Also, the prices change. Basically, the price that you see here is the highest price that somebody is offering for this item. So there's no guarantee that if you sell one or two staves to at this price, the price might actually go down, because somebody who is looking to buy the staves at this price could actually just need two, and then the next person who put up a lower price, his offer will show up, and then you will be getting less gold than that. So always keep that in mind, of course, and just whenever you're clicking the sell button, make sure that you don't click too quickly, because you might end up selling for a lot less than you thought you're selling for. So this 5,000 isn't necessarily going to be 5,000 after like selling 5 or 6 of the scrolls. It might actually go down if you fulfill the most expensive request and then you move on to the next in the list, if that makes sense. So that's something worth considering, and this is something that I've been doing for a while. Whenever I craft items, actually, let me just pull up this fight real quick while I'm talking. Whenever I craft items, I always, well, not always, but whenever I have time, I look at the market and see if I can sell anything for a good price. Meaning that I look for at least 50% more from the base price that I would normally sell this to a customer. Because, like I said, I'm looking to make 50 million by the time I hit level 49. And I also have additional expenses such as investing in buildings. I always try to invest at least 1 million per day at this point in the game. So I also have to take that into account. All the while, I'm also doing upgrades which cost gold as well. So, like I said, I'm just looking to make as much gold as I can and try to get to 50 million when I hit level 50. Alright, so there's the opposite version of this though. If you're looking to just level up and you're not so much worried about gold as you are about gaining levels and unlocking new things such as more character slots, more quest slots, for example, these here, or just any other unlock that you're looking for, and you know that you're going to get that you want to get there as fast as you can, and then maybe worry about the gold later, then you could potentially do something different. You could do what these people are doing here in the market, the ones making the request. You could yourself make a request of a certain item that you want to buy. Just pick something. Let's see. Let's go with a Warlord plate. Now this is the base value that this sells for to a customer. So let's go with, let's say, 25 pieces, normal quality, and take a look at this. So this is the base price that you can sell this to a customer. This is the minimum value of the trade. So somebody has put up these Warlord plates for 300k. So basically you want to get close or match that price, because if you try to buy the Warlord plates for 165,000, this request for 300k will be fulfilled first, and unless the price drops to 165k, your request will never be fulfilled. So you will need to get close to or match this price, or even go above this price to be able to get um, your request fulfilled. It's it's costly, but if you're after XP, that's one way of doing it. Just buy stuff from the market as cheaply as possible. I mean, look around, check some of the items, see what sells what is least expensive to buy rather, and then just make some requests, get the items, put them in your shop, and then sell them to customers for XP. You're not going to gain as much gold, obviously, although you will make some of the gold on surcharging the items. So you might break even on gold, but at least you'll be getting tons more XP from just selling items that you craft. And this is something that you can do when you go to sleep, for example. Just find a bunch of items that you can request and for a cheaper price. Make a request for 25 items, go to bed, and in the morning it'll most likely be fulfilled. All right. So there's one other thing that you could possibly do, and this is to use energy to craft items faster. Let me just collect these items to show you what I mean. So I'm going to spam a bunch of scrolls and take a look at this. I could use this energy to immediately craft or finish this item instead of waiting 4 minutes for it. So I could use the energy, sell an item, maybe use small talk, and the energy that I would get from the sell, and then use that energy to finish another item, and so on and so forth. So that way I'll actually be making some decent XP. You could even go further and just hit the discount button on every item that you sell. Of course, you won't be making that much money, but it'll guarantee you energy that you can then use to finish an item. Now, I'm not sure how viable this strategy is long term, because if you're crafting items so quickly, you might start running out of resources. But just use different items that use different resources, and you might be okay for the most part. So this is another thing that you can do to get XP quickly. Uh, Now, when it comes to energy, there was something I wanted to mention. You kind of want to be able to get to a point where you are crafting both lower level and higher level tier items, or maybe buying them even, so that you could actually use the energy system to your advantage. So if you have a bunch of items, like for example these war hammers that I have stacked here, which I think they're tier 2 and they sell for cheap, but what I'm using them for is not to make money, it's to make energy. So every single customer that is buying a hammer, I would discount that hammer to get the energy from that sell. And then I would create a higher level item. For example, in this case, the scrolls, which are I think tier 3 or tier 4, they sell for much more. So I'll be using that energy to surcharge the item and get more money for it. Also, higher quality items sell for more. So for example, if you take a look at the normal scroll, it sells for 4.1, whereas the blue scroll sells for twice that much. So that's something to consider as well. And keep in mind that the energy used to surcharge is the same, in this case 90. So you'll be getting twice as much gold if you surcharge this blue item than if you surcharge the regular one. So this is something to remember when, for example, you only have 90 energy left and you have these two items. If you have to make a choice, always go for surcharging the more expensive item because you get more money that way. Okay, so let me show you how I normally do this. And I actually do something which is I always small talk the customers. As you probably know, if you've seen my other videos and if you played the game for a while, this is this could go one of two ways. You could get some energy, about 10% energy from small talking if you succeed, or it could backfire and you could lose some of that energy. I would say the chances of succeeding versus the chances of failing is about maybe 50-50 or 60-40. Um, so I think you succeed more than you fail. So it feels to me like it's more like 60-40, but I honestly don't know if there's a specific percentage, and I don't know what it is, if there is. Well, there surely is, but I'm just not sure what it is. So play around with that, and if you don't like it, for example, if you think it's not predictable enough, and if you just feel like it's not working out for you, you could not use it if you like. However, I would advise you to at least consider using it when you're low on energy, and I'll show you in just a bit what I mean. So let's use that. Let's just surcharge until we run out of energy, and then we'll start using small talk to see what you mean. Well, what I mean. Okay, so surcharge, sell. Let me just see if I can sell another blue one. There we go. Surcharge, sell. I've got a green one as well. Okay, now I have 37, or rather 44 energy. I can't surcharge right now, so what I could do is I could try to small talk and see if I can get enough energy to get double the price. Okay, so this was successful. I can surcharge and sell it. Now I have even less energy than that. I could try to small talk again. This one backfired, so I'm down to 0 energy. Now I have an option. I could either sell this at the base price, or I could just wait for somebody to pick up one of those low tier items, and I could use the small talk plus the discount to actually see if I can get enough energy and surcharge that scroll. Alright, let me just see what that is. Okay, so here, when somebody asks you, this happens from time to time, when somebody asks you for an item which you don't currently have, you have the option of offering them another item that you have, but this costs energy. You could just refuse if you like. In this case, I'll refuse. Okay, so just going to go with, okay, there we go. This guy wants a hammer. So what I would do is, if I just discount, I'll get 20 energy, and this would get me to 51. So that wouldn't be enough for me to surcharge one of the scrolls. So I would actually just go for a more risky approach, and I would risk actually backfiring the small talk and getting even less energy for actually getting decent energy and maybe being able to surcharge one of the scrolls. Let's see if it works. Okay, so I got a whole bunch of energy for that. Then I hit discount to get even more, and then I sell to get even more. And then I can go to one of the scrolls, surcharge it, and sell it. Let's try that again. This one backfired, so I'm down to 0 energy. I am going to discount again though and sell this. Okay, let's try to small talk. This was a success. Actually, I'm not going to discount or surcharge this because I want to be as close to 90 as possible to show you something else that you could do with small talk. Even if you don't like the randomness of it, it could be something helpful to you. So let's take a look at this one. I've got 99 energy, which is just enough to surcharge the item, and I also have the option to small talk. I don't want to do small talk before I do the surcharge. Firstly, because I won't be getting as much energy if I succeed, and secondly, because if it backfires, I won't have enough energy to surcharge the item. So what I would do is surcharge first, then my energy is down to 16, so even if this backfires, I won't lose that much energy. See? It actually succeeded. So when I sell, and go to another scroll, I already have enough energy to surcharge it right away, and then sell it for a profit. Okay, so this is basically, this is a very basic example of what you could be doing when it comes to energy manipulation and price manipulation. This is the very basic concept of the game. You sell low, your tier low items, you discount those, and then you use that energy that you've gained to surcharge your more expensive items, and this gets you more gold altogether. But again, like I said, it doesn't actually affect the XP you're getting. You're still getting the base value of the item as XP. Okay, so I think this pretty much covers it. However, there was something else that I wanted to mention. Now, feel free to just stop watching right now, but what I wanted to also mention in the extra few minutes that we have is something that I considered, or rather that I actually did in the beginning, that may or may not be efficient. I'll leave that up to you to decide. And this is basically using ascension shards on some of the lower tier items. Now you'll probably notice that these are low tier items that almost all of them I've used ascension shards. This is because all of these items are the highest tier I was able to find that didn't require a quest component to craft if you ascended them. Let me show you what I mean. So let's take a look at the Druid Laurels. This one, when you ascend it just once, gives you a -1 mushroom component. And the item actually only needs one mushroom component. So technically, you're removing that quest item from the requirement to craft the item, and you only are using your base resources. So my idea behind doing all this was I wanted to get the highest tier possible items that I could make without using any of the quest resources, so that when, for example, I run out of resources when crafting higher tier items, I would still have something to fall back on, which would make me decent money without having to resort to crafting tier 1 items, for example. However, I wouldn't say this was the most this was the most clever spend of resources that I did, because basically the idea behind using all of these items was I wanted to have a type of item for each rack. For example, the Warhammer goes to the weapon rack, the Hauberk basically goes to the armor stand, so does the hat, and also this one goes to the table, and the scroll goes to the what was it? Forgot the name. To the shelf. So basically, I made an item that's easy to make, and I ascended it so that I can have all of my racks up and running. However, you don't necessarily need that. I found out that you do get more customers if you have your racks filled up, so you could go this route if you like. However, you could just go with two items, one cheap one and one more expensive one. For example, I think this sells for almost as much as this one, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if there's a base value here that I can compare. Unfortunately, there isn't. But it's basically more or less the same price. However, if I want to make this, first I need to make the iron mill, and then I need to craft this. So it's a bit more time consuming. Whereas I can just spam the scrolls, no problem, and in about 5 minutes they're going to be crafted. So is it worth it? Is it worth doing two of these? For me, I think it is. I mean, it's not that much investment. I told you in the introduction for the game that you basically want to hold on to your ascension shards, and that's still true. I mean, you don't need to do what I've done, but it's something to consider for yourself and to see if it makes sense. Like, for example, this Warhammer actually requires two of those components, but when you ascend it just once for 10 shards, this requirement is removed. So technically, you only need 10 wood to make those. They're easy to spam. Same goes for the scroll. Now, the scroll, you actually just need the first ascension. I only did the other two because it gives me more multi-craft chance and a better quality chance. And since I've been spamming those but quite a lot when I don't have quest resources, I decided that it's worth the investment. However, you only need the first one to be able to craft the scrolls without having to use the quest resource. So something to consider. I don't know, I'm 50-50 on it. Not really sure if it was worth it, but I've been using it, to be honest. I don't use it all that often, but I have been using it. However, I don't think it's viable for further down the road, like when you go end game. I don't think the money you'll be getting from selling the scrolls, even at double the price, is going to be a viable solution for quickly making money. I think at that point there will be better options for you. So, but then again, at that point you also probably have a lot more ancient shards, ascension shards, not ancient shards. Sorry, to spend on upgrading items. So that's my 2 cents. Just another example. Take it for what it is. Hopefully it helps you out, and hopefully the information that I gave you in this video helps you out as well, because I think it's important to understand how the XP works and to understand how the market works as well, and why you're seeing stuff being bought for more money than you can actually sell it to the customers. It's just about priorities. Do you want more XP? Do you want more gold? Or do you want to kind of find a balance between the two as you go? And finally, a few final words, if you're still with me. Early on in the game, you kind of want to be in the middle of the road, making gold and also getting XP, because um, you'll be unlocking a lot of things. In fact, I think in the beginning of the game, it might actually be more important to make more gold, because you'll be gaining levels very quickly, and pretty much every level is going to unlock something for you. And you kind of want to have the gold to be actually able to purchase that unlock. For example, more hero slots, or more crafting slots, or more quest slots, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. As you gain levels, you kind of want to have that gold with you as well, so that you can purchase whatever it is you just unlocked right away. Again, this is mostly true for early levels. Later on, though, it takes a little bit to gain levels. So I think in the end game, this is where you're gonna want to start focusing on gaining more levels, more XP, and less on making that much gold, because my guess was you don't have that much to unlock later on. And even if you do, you'll be able to use more strategies to make more gold at that later game. So that would actually help you out. All right, guys, that's it for me when it comes to XP and using your energy. Hopefully this has been helpful. I wish you all a great day or night or whatever it is for you right now. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. I'll be doing more Shop Titans and Raid Shadow Legends content as I go. I can't give you a specific timeline on when I'll be making videos, because I can't really make a video every single day. I don't always have that option, but I do enjoy making them, so I will try to do those as often as I can. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. Have a good one.